everyone, welcome back to Bloom and Create, where we bloom into the best versions of ourselves, creating memories as we go. So, today we are going to talk about burnout. So, I have been experiencing burnout recently due to my very long to-do list and scheduled events and a bunch of stuff. And of course, some days are better than others, some days are worse than others. It's just been a roller coaster. Um, so I haven't been posting much because of that. And I do have a video in the works that I just need to finish editing and then it'll be done. But I haven't really been in the mood to be editing it. And so that's why I decided to make this video. And I'm sorry if it's a little long because, like with the other video, I'm not wanting to edit. I'm not going to want to edit this one either. But I wanted to get something out there for you guys so that you can watch it and stuff. So if it's a little long, I'm sorry. I will be doing a little bit of editing, so that's hopefully not too long, but I don't want to do too much. So let's get into the video. So burnout is not uncommon. And in fact, we all experience this phenomenon at least once in our life. But what is burnout? Burnout can be the form of many things: boredom, irritation, mood swings, or just feeling numb. And there can be difficulty concentrating or remembering things, difficulty in having fun or relaxing due to stressing about various tasks that we need to do or should be doing instead. And all of this all at once can weaken our immune system, causing us to get very sick and very often. So burnout in a description form occurs when our body and mind can no longer keep up with the tasks that we demand of it. And I have noticed that there are actually two different types of burnout. So one of the burnouts, which is actually the most common, is doing too much. So this is where we have like maybe a very long to-do list and we're trying to get all of it done as soon as possible, and we forget to take breaks and take self-care as a priority as well, and we just burn out from doing too much and of the tasks that we need to get done and not enough of taking care of ourselves. That's the most common one. But the other one is by doing too little, and we end up procrastinating. So maybe we start off with a little to-do list and it eventually becomes a big to-do list because we procrastinated. Or maybe we're procrastinating because it is such a big to-do list and we just don't know where to start. And so we just push it off, push it off, push it off, and we get burnt out because of all this accumulated stress that we had created for ourselves because we're not getting anything done, and those deadlines are still there and those looming tasks are still there. So the first step, I would say, in becoming not burnt out is to take a day break and just do the whole day of just taking care of ourselves. Since doing too much is the most often one, taking a break can be very beneficial to kind of reset ourselves and be able to give our body what it needs to be able to do all the tasks that we're demanding it to do. And I strongly believe that our body tells us what we need, and we just need to have the ears and to listen to our body and understand what it is telling us. So for like some tips that I have if you're going to do a day of rest is to practice self-care. Self-care comes into many, many different forms, but some of the self-care tips that I have found to be very helpful is washing my face, taking a nice relaxing bubble bath, getting my nails done, and exercising regularly. I'm not always in the mood to exercise, but if I, and I don't want to say I push myself to exercise, but I kind of push myself to exercise. So there's like a difference between pushing yourself to the breaking point and pushing yourself to do something that you know is going to be helpful by the time you're done with it. And that is what we're trying to do. Like, if you get to the point of really burnt out and exhaustion and you feel like you can't do anything, you just want to lay in your bed and scroll through media and stuff, this is a very high point of burnout. And we're going to have to push ourselves to do tasks that we know are going to help ourselves get out of that, because scrolling through media is not going to help with the burnout. Um, so it's a healthy pushing myself, I should say, to do, and I don't always do a heavy exercise routine, especially if I'm burnt out and just not feeling it and stuff. Just getting my body moving though helps significantly to just feel a little bit better, feel accomplished. Um, so I definitely recommend that. And then also go outside. I find myself to not go outside nearly as often as I should. And so sometimes I'm burnt out because I've been stuck in the house for too long and I need to get outside. So going outside, you can take a walk, go swimming. It's summertime. It's the perfect time to be going swimming and having that be your outside time. Or just sitting in nature and relaxing. Maybe do some meditation outside instead of inside so that you do two good things in one. And then, of course, doing something that you love and enjoy, whatever that may be. It could be taking care of plants, it could be arts and crafts, it could be reading, it could be writing, it could be maybe decorating. I know I love decorating and having decorations around my room, around the house. It kind of really livens up the space and makes it feel really cozy and comforting. So maybe putting up decorations. So whatever brings you joy, make sure to do a lot of that during this rest day. Um, Cleaning and organizing your space. I know sometimes I'm not always in the mood to clean, but sometimes I do a healthy push to do a little bit of cleaning and organizing of my room, because just having all that clutter and mess around me can kind of increase the negative emotions that I'm feeling and the stress that I'm feeling. And so taking some time to clean and organize my space can kind of take a weight off my shoulders and kind of make me feel better after doing that. So I definitely recommend doing that if that's something you relate with. Then, of course, meditating. I was not a big meditation person. I didn't really understand it. I didn't see any benefit in it. But I have definitely been doing more meditation, and I have noticed that it really helps, especially if I'm feeling burnt out. Um, Sometimes when I am burnt out, I'll watch some uh, videos where, like, just, oh my god, it is. One sec. Oh lord. One sec. I gotta go kill a spider. That was traumatizing. Oh my god. I hate spiders, guys. I hate spiders. Back to the video. Okay, so what were we talking about? Oh, I haven't been a big meditation girly, but I've noticed that it's been really helpful, and watching videos with like tips for burnout has been really helpful as well during those times. Um, Typically the tips are generally the same, and maybe I'm already doing them, but just watching them and knowing that other people have experienced burnout and do experience burnout just kind of feels more reassuring and helps to know that this is just a phase that I can get out of. It's natural. We all experience it, and that kind of helps with the emotions that I'm feeling during burnout. And then uh, also another thing that I was not a big fan of is journaling. And I definitely don't journal every day, but there are a few things that I do journal and think are very beneficial to journal to kind of get to know yourself more and have that written down so you can refer back to it. And one of the things that I definitely recommend journaling is how you feel before and after each one of these tasks, because then you can realize uh, and reflect which ones are helpful and which ones are not. And so the next time that you're burnt out, you can go straight to the tasks that are helpful. And these tasks may not be helpful every time. I know, like, washing my face is usually a task that instantly makes me feel a lot better. Um, but some days it just doesn't have the same effect. And so I definitely would try these tips like a few times just so that you have like an idea, like, is this something that helps sometimes? Is this something that helps most of the time? Is this something that doesn't really help at all? Kind of have that information written down so that you know, and so you can eventually find out these things about yourself. And so the next time that you're burnt out, you can go straight to those tasks that help most of the times, and sometimes, um, so that like if the ones that usually work most of the time don't work, well, you still have those tips that work sometimes to try as well. And just do everything you can to replenish your energy and make you feel good so that the next day you can, I wouldn't say go back full swing, because if you do that, you're going to get back into the burnout stage. But we do have, so the tips that I'm going to share next, I would say you should do all the time to, as kind of a way to prevent burnout. But yeah, so, and also if you're really burnt out, it is important to note that it may take longer than a day to get out of this slump. Um, if I'm not too burnt out, a day is typically all I need. But if I'm really burnt out, I could take a week before I'm fully out of the slump and I can have the energy to do anything really. So just give yourself a lot of grace in this time, because it's really important to be kind to yourself during this time, because if you stress yourself out further, you're just gonna make the situation worse. The next tips that I want to share is if you're procrastinating and stressing about like a large to-do list. Um, but these tips that I'm going to share are also beneficial to prevent burnt out. So the things that I would say is to write down all the tasks that you want to get done. Not today, but like sometime. Um, so this is my to-do list, and this is not all for today. I have a separate to-do list of what I want to get done specifically for today. But this is like my master to-do list of things that I want to get done sometime. And it has everything down on there, small, large, everything. um, and then the next thing that I would say to do is to prioritize your tasks. So personally, I do this with asterisks, like little stars, to differentiate which tasks are higher priority. Um, but sometimes it can be, like, I know when I was first doing this, I had a difficult time finding out which tasks were high priority. And by the time I was done asterixing my tasks, it felt like almost all of the tasks had an asterisk, and it's like that's not very helpful. So if you are also having difficulty finding which tasks are like a priority, you could rate each task 1 through 5. So 1 would be there's no deadline, it can get done at any time. Like it's not something you have to get done right now. And then 5 would be there is a deadline, it's very soon, and we need to get this done soon so that we can meet the deadline. And then 3 would be like there is a deadline, but it's kind of far in the distance, so it's a priority, but not right now. So the next thing I would say is to schedule breaks. And when doing the breaks, it can be any of the things that I listed previously. You can just refresh and stuff. Take a moment for yourself to restart, reset, and just take a break. Like literally just take a break from what you're doing and then come back to it, because that will help to not get you burnt out and feeling better and actually being more productive, which is kind of funny because it's like, well, you're taking a break by not doing what you need to do and stuff. Wouldn't that be fun? But not really. Taking a break, taking time to regain your energy and feeling taking that time for yourself actually makes you more productive, because then you have more energy, renewed energy to go full force in the next task instead of doing task after task after task and losing so much energy and becoming so depleted that it's hard to focus on the next one, and it takes more time to do that task because you're just so drained. So taking a break is definitely important. And then celebrate and reward any task that you get done, no matter how small. Like, it is so important to be like, yay, we got this done. And it can feel weird at first, but it's important to like validate yourself and give yourself a reward system for getting what you wanted to get done. It helps to give you positive reinforcement and help to just make you feel better and want to achieve more. So definitely do that. And then also, don't stress if you don't get everything you wanted to get done that day. It's natural to maybe overschedule a little bit and just simply set those tasks as top priority for tomorrow. And don't stress about tomorrow. Just live in the moment and not worry about everything that you're going to have to get done tomorrow. So don't stress out about all the tasks that you have to get done. It's just going to drain your precious energy and get you to burn out quicker. So now let's talk about behaviors that lead to burnout. So striving for perfection in all areas of your life. Perfection is, much like stress, is the quickest way to get to burnout because it's using up energy, precious energy that you could be using for getting tasks done. And I used to be a perfectionist, and I am so glad that I am not a perfectionist anymore because that's so much energy that was wasted and I can now utilize for things that better serve me. Next is placing unrealistic expectations on yourself. This is a huge energy drainer as well. Working hard without being appreciated for it. This, like I mentioned earlier, is why you need to celebrate and reward yourself for your wins in anything that you get done, no matter how small it may be. Because when we're in such a burnout state, sometimes we have to start small just to be able to start. And once we start small, we can progress and get some more bigger tasks done. And typically the hardest thing is just to start. But once we've started, it's kind of a snowball effect and we're able to get more and more done. So if you start off with a small task, reward yourself for doing that and starting because that's typically a hard thing to do and should be rewarded and appreciated. And then this is something that I struggle with the most currently is not prioritizing my own well-being and self-care and not taking breaks. This is very important to preventing burnout because self-care and taking breaks is how we replenish our energy so that we have more energy to work on tasks. If we don't replenish our energy, we're going to run out, and that's going to lead us into a burnout stage where we can't do anything, and then we're forced to take care of ourselves and replenish our energy so that we can do more. And then trying to control what is outside of our control. So basically, there's only so much that we can control. We can control ourselves, our behaviors, our reactions to things. But we cannot control our situation or other people. And so when we try to control what's outside of our circle that we can control, we can get burnt out and exhausted and stressed, and that's just no good. And then lastly, helping and supporting others when we don't have the time or energy to do so. This kind of leads into boundaries, having boundaries with others and ourselves, and also just listening to ourselves. Like I mentioned earlier, our body tells us what we need, and we just need to listen. So we need to listen to our body and see, do we have the energy to be helping and supporting this person? Because we do need to be, it's great to help and support other people. It's great to do that. I'm not saying that it's not. And you definitely should do it if you have the energy to do so. But if you're already in a state where you're getting depleted or already are depleted, it's not going to serve you to help someone else and use more energy on doing things that aren't taking care of yourself, if that makes sense. So first take care of yourself, replenish your energy, and then you can help others and support them. Now, this isn't always the case. Sometimes helping others, if they're really appreciative, can replenish your energy. So it's also very important to be aware and reflect on those situations to see what type of situations can I help people that help replenish my energy. Like, which people are really appreciative when I help them, what volunteer opportunities bring me the most joy and replenish my energy. Being aware of that can be very helpful, because then you can kill two birds with one stone. You can help and support others while also replenishing yourself. And then time, if you're already scheduled to the max and there's not a lot of wiggle room, helping someone is typically not going to help with that schedule and stuff. It's just going to make you more stressed and more anxious and trying to get everything that you want to get done. So it's very important to really be mindful of how you're feeling and what you already have scheduled so that you don't overexert yourself. And now I want to share some things that you should remember to kind of help prevent burnout and kind of help yourself if you are feeling burnt out, and just getting you into a more positive mindset. So the first thing is, don't beat yourself up. If you feel burnt out already and feel like you can't get anything done, beating yourself up about not getting anything done is just going to make it worse. And so just know that it is okay to feel burnt out. It is a natural feeling, and we all go through it during one point or another in our lives. And then it is okay to take a break, and it's actually necessary in order to relieve and prevent burnt out. Asking for help is a strength, not a weakness. We are meant to go through life as a supportive community, not alone. Small steps are also progress. I know we think that we always have to take large steps to get to the place that we want to go to meet our goal, but sometimes we need to take a break and just take it easy, and it's totally fine to do that. Small steps is still progress. It's still going to get us to our goal. So don't do too much all at once, because that will lead to burnout. Just do a little bit each day, and you will eventually meet your goal without getting burnt out. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this helps, and go plant some seeds and see what your heart grows. Love you, everyone.